Hello and welcome. I should look at the camera, but it's hard because I see me much bigger on the screen. So sorry about that. But welcome to my best games of 2018. Board games. If you're looking for video games, it's not this place. But so a year and a bit ago, I did the. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera now. I did a list of my favorite top 10 games of 2017, and I didn't know why. Oh, by the way, I'm David from Grail Games, and I didn't know why, and I still don't know why. I haven't gone back to watch it, just like everyone. I haven't watched it, but I think like I want to do it again just for fun, and because I haven't done a video in 6 months or more. So I feel like sorry up there and not at the screen. I feel like people might want to. I want to talk about it. This is taking forever to get to the point, but also it lets you know what sort of games I like. I'm not a reviewer, nothing like that. It's just a bit of fun, something to talk about. These are what I saw that came out in 2018 that I liked. I'm doing this midway through 2019 because I didn't get to it. I've played like 50, almost 60 games from 2018. But I'm not going to include any game I had any hand in as a publisher or designer or developer because none of them would have made the list. No, because that's not fair, and I won't put anything in here that anyone in my family had anything to do with. There's a lot of them. So if you want to keep watching, because I'm going to go through my top 10 games of 2018. And at the end, I'll tell you a few that might have made it if I'd played it, just guessing. And if I can think of any that I didn't like, I'll add them. Well, there's like 60, 50 I didn't like. Anyway, here's number one. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Areal is how I want to say it, but I think it's pronounced differently in Portuguese. I'm back. It's the edition I got came out at Essen last year by Meebo, but it's going to be put out by other companies too. This is designed by Mr. Santiero and Soledad, who I think do mostly heavy games for like What's Your Game, but this is a really light game. It's a Tetris game where you're filling in your street party with Tetris pieces, which are people. But the cool thing is you have to put it in the way, like it falls like Tetris down like the way it's coming off the board, but you can pay to rotate this board and then you get it coming in at a different angle. You can't rotate it once you've picked it up. And you're trying to get matching groups of colors and rows like Tetris. I don't think it's really fun. Very accessible. The artwork's really cool, European-y, cartoony. I like it a lot. It's one of the better. There's like 50 million Polyominoes, Tetranomios games. Now this is one of my favorite. Look at the camera. This is one of my favorites. Ever since like Princes of Florence and back 10, 15 years ago. I don't remember. They've been coming out, but this is a good one. That's number 10 for me. Number 9 for me I don't have anymore, but that's called Ganz Schön Clever. It's a roll and write game by Wolfgang Warsch. It was nominated for the Kennerspiel des Jahres. I've played it, I can tell you, 11 times, but I've played it maybe almost 200 times on the app. Unfortunately in Australia the app doesn't have online play, and you can't even set up an account to track. I don't know what you track, but so the app's not that clever, but the game is very clever. It's a roll and write game. You roll dice, mark stuff off your sheet like Yahtzee, but the cool thing is when you mark one thing off, it might combo and make you mark something off up there, which might make you something off there, it might mark something off there. It's pretty fun. Okay, number 8 is called Cryptid. Put that down. That's number 7. Number 8, Cryptid. I don't own anymore either. It's beautiful. Its art is Kwanchai Moria. I forget who designed it. Osprey Games out of the UK, isn't it? Put that out. It's a deduction game where you're trying to find a monster on a board, and there's heaps and heaps and heaps of different iterations, and they figured out a different solution for each one, and you've got to find. So you know some clues, and you got to find out based on all the clues where it is on the board. No one knows, but the game knows where the cryptid is. The trick is, once I'd played it 5-6 times, I got really good at it because I knew all the clues, possibilities, and I could guess really well, and once I even won in 5-10 minutes, and so people stopped playing it with me. So I didn't keep it, but I think it's a great one to check out, Cryptid. Okay, number 7, this one I can finally hold up. Take me to the river. This was Days of Wonder's big release last year. It's a worker placement game, so you're putting a worker on the board in the different spots to get stuff, like tiles for your settlement and resources to buy stuff, and buildings to build. It's mirror, so it's hard to... Why don't I just look at the box? So, build buildings, and people die, well, they retire or something, but they die. And there's challenge and stuff. It's really simple, really straightforward, really gateway family style thing. I just think it's really beautiful. Like, it's hard, I won't show you the pieces, but it's really beautiful and really easy to play, and it just works really well. I think it all syncs together really well. I really like it a lot. The art's by Sebastian Pochon, who did something else that I think is on this list. I forget now. We'll find out. Maybe I'm wrong. But the designer is Ismail Perrin. So there you go. The River. Check it out if you like worker placement. Plays about, probably, I'm guessing 45 minutes with 4 players. Yep, I was right. I'm always right. Okay, number 6 is The Mind. Another Wolfgang Warsch design game. This one's by NSV. This is a really interesting, different game. If you're in the board game geek or board game community, you've heard of this. And it's a game, when I teach it, I always play it really hard for, we're trying to read minds. It's an ESP practicing thing. And what you're trying to do is play the cards that you have in your hand in order with everybody else at the table, but you can't see each other's hand. So you're guessing when to play each card. Lots of laughter when you make mistakes. Lots of screaming when you do it correct or hit each other. And it's just a fun little party style thing. It's not meant to be taken too seriously. It almost won the Spiel des Jahres. And I think you'll see this around for a long time to come, although I could be wrong. The Mind. If I'm not going into enough detail with all this, sorry. I'm just trying to be quick. I don't edit, I don't add. So look into it yourself. Number 5, so we're in the top of the top now. Number 5 is Drop It by Cosmos. This is another family style party game. It's another dropping game like Ariel before, but this time you're literally dropping the pieces into this plastic screen thing. And wherever you land on the screen, you get a varying number of points, but you can't touch things of the same color, which is your color, or the same shape from anyone. And as you can see, you can't touch things on the side with the same color. You can also flip these around and make it, if you touch shapes on the side, you get in trouble. But my kids love this. It's lots of fun. It only takes 10 minutes, and it's very dexterous, just like I am. Don't drop it, but drop it is the name of that one. I'm really not sure why people care about this, but anyway, I'm keeping on going because I've started it. Number 4. So all these games, actually, I'm looking at my list, I've played 3 times or more, just so you know. This one I've played 7 times so far. Ticket to Ride New York. It's a small Ticket to Ride. They just came out with Ticket to Ride London as well, which is almost the same. I don't know if I'll get that or not. But if you've played the big Ticket to Ride game, which is twice this size easily, this is the same thing, but in 15 minutes, not an hour or so. And after playing this, I'm seriously considering if I'll play the old big version again. Maybe on the app I will, but look at the camera in person, I don't know. Because this does like the same stuff, but really quick, and it's really fun. It is really cutthroat. There's not a lot of room to move, and you get blocked a lot. But because it's over so quick, I don't think most people care about it that much. But I love it. I love it. It's just so much fun. You can whip it out real quick and play it real quick and feel like you've connected routes, scored points for your tickets, going where you were meant to go, and it's in Manhattan. Alright, top 3. Luxor is my number 3. This was another one nominated for the Spiel des Jahres with The Mind. What won it? The Mind, Luxor. Oh, Azul one. But that's not on this list because it actually came out in the end of 2017. Right, yeah, a few. But so it's pretty cool that I like all three that were nominated. I usually do. This is a game by Rudiger Dorn, and I'm not saying for sure that he's been nominated for SDJ without winning more than anyone else, but it's pretty far. He's pretty high up there, but gets nominated a lot. In this game, you're playing cards. You've got a hand of 5 cards, and they help you to move through the temple that you're exploring, but you can only move the one on the right or the one on the left. Or the one on the left. No, that's the right or the left. And when you played one, then you get a new one off the draw deck, but you put it in the middle. So you're planning ahead. It's really cool. I've got 1 or 2 choices, that's all I can do, but the one I choose is going to depend on what I get on the board, moving my guys, but also it's moving me closer to the things I want in future turns. There's heaps of ways to expand it, change it up, but it's really simple yet really fun. And you could use this hand management thing in many games, I think. We'll see what Rudiger Dorn comes up with next if he does it again. But you're just getting through the temple to collect different sets and different items of things in here and trying to get first to the middle as well. It's a race, but you can win without coming first. Lots of fun. I like it a lot. That's the one of this list. So 3 and up, from 3rd place to 1st place, I'd really like to play these all the time, more often. It was a great year in my opinion. Number 2 of the year, Blue Lagoon from Blue Orange Games. I've been mentioning all the publishers I should have been. This is by Reiner Knizia. I've heard of him before, you might have. So this is a game. How come all my games, the box is on the cover's on upside down? Anyway. So this is an awesome game because just like many of Knizia games, you've got like 1 or 2 choices on your turn. That's it. But what you do with that choice is so hard to make the choice of what to choose because you want to go everywhere. You want to do everything. Basically what you're doing is moving your island as you've got, or placing them. You can place them on the land or flip it over, place it in the water. There's a couple of rules about how to, but it's not that hard. But the thing is, you've got about 6-7 different ways to score. So at the end of the round, there's 2 rounds. At the end of the round, you want to have connected as many islands as you can, picked up resources for sets, but also be on each island for majority scoring, all sorts of things. There's heaps of ways to score and you can't do everything well. But it's a fun challenge to try and do as much as you can, and everyone, of course, gets in your way. I've played it 2 to 4. It works great. Doesn't matter. 4 is really tricky. But once you've all played and placed and scored, then you take off all the pieces except for your houses, your huts that you've placed, which are really cool wooden things. And then you start again, and you can start from those spaces. So where you go in the first round has a big implication for where you can go in the second round, and then you score again. Really clever. You'll notice all my games on this list are quick, snappy, lots of interaction, I guess. But very simple rules for most of these. You can learn these really quick. Family level is my butter. My Vegemite. Ching. Oh yeah, they're simple, but they're complex at the same time. The rules are simple, but the choice making is complex. All right, number 1, numero uno. Number 1. It's another Knizia game. Lost Cities Rivals. Small package, great game. If you've played any of the other Lost Cities games, you get the basic gist of this. You're collecting cards in sets of colors for your expeditions, but you can't go backwards. They've all got numbers 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. Forgotten now. And there's other cards you can get to mix in there, but you can't go backwards. So once you buy the 8, you can't get the 7 if you missed it. But the cool thing about this one is you're auctioning, you're bidding for the cards. You're not randomly getting them off the deck or anything like that. And you've got this money that you use to bid. But the person who wins the bid for the stuff that's out there can then take as many as they want. Maybe it's 0, but you've stopped other people, and then they can trash something from the line. So often you call auctions all the time. Sort of like in Stevenson's Rocket, this other game. You call auctions all the time, often just to mess with the other players. and you're trying to make them really pay for what they really want without going too far so that then you have to pay for something you didn't want. So it's really cool, really fun. There's a few rounds to it, and then the money gets redistributed. So it's a closed system of money. Look up there. And once you spend it, you might get some of it back later, but you'll be poor 1 minute, then rich the next. It's really cool how that works. I love this game. Tense, tight, plays in half an hour. It's for 2 to 4 players. It's an auction set collection game that works amazingly well. And I've played it a couple of times. I played it 7 times all up, but a couple of times with 2, and it works really well. It's so harsh because you're calling auctions all the time just to mess with the other player, but it's just great. Love it. If you like shorter, lighter games, if you like Kenichi games, I thought this was the best of the year. So that was my top 10. What was yours? Put in the comments below. Of course, if you're watching this on a TV, not on a computer or a phone, you won't see comments below because you might have Apple TV or streaming or some other thing. So I'm sorry about that. But if you can see comments below, why don't you write a comment below? And if I see it, I'll reply if I see it. And what's your top 10? Do you disagree with my top 10? Do you care? Who are you? Why are you watching this? Go off and get a life. But anyway, you can ring the bell if you want, if you can see it, because if you're on a TV you won't see the bell and you can't subscribe. But if you can see the bell, if you can subscribe below this, if you're on the website because you're old school, do that. Click on the bell, click on the subscribe. I might do another video one day. So that's what I liked from 2018. What did you like? Put in the comments below. I said that.